whoever just joined, this is Federica. I'm part of the DocCity team, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to this live webinar of Marconi International University. And I will be introducing our speakers for tonight. We have Georgia and David, who are the admissions advisor at Marconi International University. And it's my pleasure to now leave the floor to David. For all of your questions, please write in the Q&A box, and we will be able to answer them during the second part of the presentation. I leave the floor now to David.
Thank you, Federica. Hello for everyone. We are in here in order to talk about OAS scholarships, but of course we are going to talk about Marconi International University. It's really important for us to make you know and let you know who is Marconi, how we work, the admission process, and with Georgia, we are going to answer all of the questions that you may have.
Thank you, David. So, hello everybody and good afternoon. It's a pleasure for me to be here and be the speaker together with my colleague David in this open class. My name is Georgia Perrone, and as Federica and David already said, I am part of the admission team together with my colleague. And today we're going to speak and talk a little bit about the OAS scholarship, which is having a very good impact in our university.
Of course.
Okay, so first of all, so what we are going to talk about, as I was telling you, in this open class is going to be divided in sections. Don't worry, it's going not to be that long, so we will be fast, right, David?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so first of all, who we are, who is Marconi, what is Marconi, and the importance that is having all over the world. Our teaching methodology is going to be a topic, and then our international scope and mission as a university and as an American institution as well. It's going to be a very important part. And then we finally arrive to the juicy part of the session, which is the OAS scholarship. And we are going to share some students' experiences as well. We will explain to you all the steps to apply for the scholarship and for the programs of your interest. Please, guys, keep all your questions at the end, or if you want, as Federica said, you can write it in the question box, and we will be back to you as soon as possible. And however, at the end of the session. Okay, let's go ahead. So who we are? Let's talk about. Well, we are a United States university, and all our programs are accredited by ASICS, which is a national accreditation agency in the United States, approved by the Department of Education. And all our programs are valid internationally and all over the United States. This is very important. Of course, this is our accreditation, which is what makes us an American accredited university. Then, can we go to the second slide? Yeah, okay. Right, this one is the accreditation. Okay, and also this one, I mean, it's really important because furthermore, Marconi International University is licensed by the Florida Department of Education in USA, of course, and we have recently renewed our accreditation. All right. So Marconi is part of the ProEduca group. I don't know if you heard about the ProEduca group, which is, I'm pretty sure you did, because it's a very big and important educational group, which is the undisputed leader in the online education in Spain and has growing its presence in Latin America. Marconi joins ProEduca in 2019, so we are fresh part of the ProEduca group, and we are really, really honored to be part of that group. Because in the next slide is going to be clearer how we, how we are part of the world, ProEduca world. Let's move to the next slide. Yes, here you have a clear vision of how ProEduca web is working. So we have our biggest influence and impact in Spain, and then we also have our presence in Mexico with Unir Mexico, and in Colombia as well. We are growing our presence in Peru, still in Latin America, with Newman Business School. And recently, as I was telling you, since 2019, Marconi International University has joined the ProEduca group, and so ProEduca is also in the United States. Okay, please, David, can you continue and help me with the presentation?
Of course, thank you, Georgia. Okay, we are going to talk about the scholarship that we are having right now with the OAS because we have an agreement direct with the OAS. You know, maybe some of you don't know what is OAS, so let me talk about. The OAS General Secretariat is the central and permanent organ of the OAS. Through this department, on charge of human development, education, and employment, OAS create and promote human capacity development at all educational levels. That's why Marconi, as an innovative American university, creates an agreement with OAS promoting the American education around the world. That's why in this moment, we have actually a scholarship. You can apply and obtain 60% in the tuition fee, which is a really important to know information to know. So that's why we are going to talk about all the admission process, how to apply, and it's really important to know that this scholarship is going to be for online programs. Okay, let's talk about some numbers. First, as a part of ProEduca group, we have more than 1,000 teachers. 85% of them has already finished PhD, and 40% of them are already accredited. So this is really important. We have more than 34,000 of active students and more than 62 graduated. So we have a lot of number of graduates around the world. And we have more than 3,000 agreements of collaboration as the OAS agreement that we are talking today. Of course, it's important to know more information about Marconi. So let me share with you some strengths. We are a highly qualified international faculty. We have a best educational system in the world because, as we mentioned before, we are an American university. We have our campus in the best part of Miami. So for maybe students who study on campus, they approach the city, and the location is really nice because we are in the business center of Miami. We have programs online offered in English and Spanish, so maybe people from Latin America can apply. And also we have innovative virtual learning environment. So we are trying to do different methodologies because we want our students to be always prepared. We have multicultural learning environment because, as I mentioned before, we have students from a lot of countries around the world. And of course, it's really important to know that we have a student care with specialized staff. We have always help desk, tutoring, student services, orientation, placement. So always our students have all the help that they need.
I think, David, first of all, thank you for all this information, which are very precious. I think that the most important part is to have, first of all, a multicultural environment, because I think will give our students, the possibility to know other cultures and also to improve their English and to have a unique experience for their university and educational path, which is something that I believe it's a very beautiful thing that every student should experience. And also for I know that we said that we offer programs in English and Spanish, but today we're talking also, only about our English programs for the application for the OEA. The OAS. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Georgia. It's important always to maybe try to keep in mind that this program is going to be for online programs and in English. Thank you for that information. Of course, we have our governance and staff, our president. His name is Pablo Cardona. He has a lot of experience in education, and we just for mention one of those experiences. He was professor at IECE in Barcelona, Spain, then professor at CIEVS in Shanghai, China, and then Dean of Faculty of Business and Communication as a doctor in management from UCLA in USA. We have Rafael Garcia as an administrative and faculty staff executive director. We have Marisol Salcedo as an academic director. And we have also Sara Forteza as a director of student services. So maybe for all the students to start the admission process with us, maybe they can be in touch with Sara Forteza.
Of course.
Okay, so in this moment, Georgia is going to talk about teaching methodology. So this is really important, maybe in all of this session to make notes because it's a lot of information.
Thank you, David. With pleasure. Actually, I was not very surprised because at the beginning, Federica asked to our students the reason why they would like to apply for the program online. I was completely sure that most of the students would have answered because of the flexibility. Because I think, well, it's not just that I think, I mean, it's a fact. That our, let's move to the next slide, the three words that best describe our teaching methodology are flexible, personalized, and effective. The methodology is based on live online classes and a personal tutor to ensure your success. So what that means is that our online program allows the students to study completely online, so it's 100% online, through our platform, which is the Marconi International Campus Online, where the students can have access at any time, so 24/7, to the video classes recorded by the professors in case they are not able to join the live classes online. So like 100% flexible, even for, this is thought mostly for people that have a part-time or full-time job and they need flexibility to study the program and the material for the program. So students will also be assisted by a professor, a professional and personal tutor who will support them at any time. Additional support will be provided by the professors available if the student requires a real-time assistant, and it's going to be possible to schedule webinars in real time with the professors and to take part in interactive forums and discussions. I think this is very important because it gives you, given that it's an online study format, of course, the possibility to interact is not always granted, but in this way we always have the interaction among the students, which is a very important part, even for the knowledge for the students. So we also have our learning resources. Now let's go back. Yes, okay. Our learning resources, a rich variety of resources, the organization of the contents and materials of each subject, are designed for agile and effective learning. And then our evaluation system, of course, you will do your work, exercise and activities throughout the course, which will help you get prepared for the exams and for the final exam, which is the capstone project. Then if we move on to the next slide, yes, okay, I would like to focus a little bit to our master programs. So I would like to underline the fact that our our approach is a practical approach and a pedagogical approach, especially for our Master of Science programs. So here, our approach is because we want the students to develop digital communication skills in live sessions, reinforce critical thinking with the Harvard simulation cases, for example, so real case of study, and build your, the student's own business with the student final year project, which is the capstone project. As for the other master program, which is the Master of Science in Educational Leadership, Management and Emerging Technology, we always use the same approach, so practical and pedagogical, to direction and manage the resources in international institutions, and also to give the tools to the organization of the school and strategic management of educational institution, and also the skills to develop a pedagogical design for education in environments where digital technologies are used, which is very, very important. All right, David, please, let's share with us our international scope and mission.
Of course. Thank you, Georgia. So let's talk about the international scope. In Marconi International University, we have more than 12 international students. We can go, please, to the next slide. More than 12,000 international students and in almost 5 continents and almost 100 countries. In Marconi, we want to promote international exchange as the best way to expand your networking. So let's talk about some percentages. We have 75% from South America, 18% in North America, 5% from Europe, and the last 2% in the rest of the world. So you are going to have your partners from different countries around the world, and this is going to expand your networking, and of course you are going to know new cultures and maybe exchange important information. Actually, please go to the next slide. We are going to talk direct from the OAS scholarship. This is really important information. So Georgia is going to give you all the information about the admission process, how it works. So please, Georgia, tell us.
Yes, of course. So we finally arrived to the core session of the open class. So if you are joining our open class, you already know the programs that Marconi International University offers, but I just would like to name them just to refresh our memory. So we have 2 Bachelor of Science programs, one in business administration and another one in computer engineering. And then we have 2 Master of Science programs, one in International Business Administration and another one in Educational Leadership, Management and Emerging Technology. We also added 2 courses to the IMBA. This is just for OAS applicants. That's a very important course. There are 2 courses that the student can add to their IMBA if they choose to apply for the IMBA. But it's not mandatory, it's just up to them. So there is the course of Emergency Management and Disaster Recovery CE program, and there is also the course in Environmental Management CE program. That's it. I would like to remind everybody that as the other slide can show us, yes, that on the bottom we can read the scholarships are limited. This is why we suggest our students to apply as soon as possible, because we have 100 scholarships available to distribute to all the students and all the applicants, which are very numerous. And we are talking about the OAS 60% scholarships only for the online study format, not the on-campus, only for the online study format, and only in English, because as David was telling us before, we offer both. We offer programs in English and in Spanish, but for the OAS scholarship of 60%, just the English version of the programs is offered. Okay, then let's have an economic overview. Of course, I already read some of the questions our students are asking, and most of them are about the costs. So here you have a table with all the costs of the programs, and each one of them has a different cost, has a different tuition, right? Of course. Depending as well on the programs, on the credits, and on the field of study. What I would like to underline to everybody is that if the student gets the 60% scholarship, it is required to pay only for the 40% remaining tuition. Okay, I will repeat that because it's really important. If the student gets the 60% OAS scholarship, it will be required to pay only for the 40% remaining tuition fee. Okay. What is not covered by the OAS MIU scholarship program are three things: the admission fee, which is required because most of our students, as I was telling you before, we receive a lot of applications, guys. So we request to pay the application fee because the student needs to secure the scholarship, okay? Because we cannot keep scholarships on hold for too long for a student. So the application fee is not covered by the scholarship, which has a cost of $150. And then the foreign credential evaluation, which is a mandatory process for all the students that hold a title from outside the US. And the student can decide to do the FCE process privately or with our university, and the cost for the FCE is going to be $150 only for OAS applicants, and the graduation fee of $400, which will be required only at the end of the last semester of the program. Okay, let's share some student experience, some of our students' experience.
Of course. Thank you, Georgia. Let's talk about our students' experience. That is really important to share with you. We can talk about Linda Tosas, for example. She said, all teachers are highly experienced and support students a lot. The Master in Education and Leadership offer high quality and responsible price, accessible to anyone. And of course, if you apply for the scholarship, you are going to be more access because it's going to be cheaper. And this is really important to know because we have like good opinions about our students, and we have students in online methodology and on campus methodology, so it's really important to know. Other of our students say, she said, the master allowed me to expand my professional perspective and develop a global vision of the business. Thanks to MIU admissions team, my dream of studying in the United States become a reality. So thank you for mentioning the admission team. We are always here to help our students in all the process, admission process, and everything that we can do for our students.
Well, we are here for that.
Yes. And yes, we have a lot of good opinions about our students. So we just are waiting for you to be part of this team. And then we are going to know how to apply. This is the most important information in this meeting. So please, Georgia, tell us this important information.
Yes, of course, David. So as everybody was waiting for this moment, I feel it.
Of course.
Okay, so let's talk about the steps that are going to make you a OAS applicant. So first of all, the eligibility criteria, okay? So what will make you, the first criteria will be to be a citizen or to hold a passport of one of the 32 independent countries that are part of the OAS organization, so the Organization of the American States. And then there is also, of course, it will be taking into account the geographical distribution of the candidates and the most important needs of the member states, according to the Human Development Index reported by the United Nations Development Program. And let's see the steps. Yes, finally. Okay, so how to apply, guys? Careful, everybody, because I know it could seem a little complicated, but it's very easy and simple. So we just have some steps, but the steps are really easy. And okay, the first one, as I was telling you before, guys, is the contact. The contact with one of our admission coordinators. It could be me or David. We'll see. One of us is going to contact you if you submit your application form for the information to receive information about the program of your interest. So once you make the contact with your admission advisor, half of the job is done, because the admission advisor will guide you and help and support you during the whole enrollment process. So we will send you all the requirements and all the information on how to apply step by step. But the second step here is going to be to send the required documents. So once you send the required documents, you will have your admission coordinator will tell you if you have the eligibility criteria to get the scholarship. Then there is the payment of the application form, the application fee. As I was telling you before, is going to be $150 application fee, not refundable. And you need to fill out the application form and pay the admission fee to secure the scholarship awarded. And then there is the admission part. So we need to wait until the 2nd of April, which is going to be the deadline. The deadline to apply for the program is going to be the 2nd of April. Then we will need to wait after the 2nd of April, when the OAS is going to release the results. Once we know if you get the scholarship, you will receive your enrollment agreement and official acceptance letter to the university. And once you sign the enrollment agreement and your acceptance letter and send it back to us, your process of enrollment is over, is done, and you are just ready to start the program for the next intake that will start on May 3rd, 2021. So when I say that it could seem a little complicated, but it's not, it's because the required documents are very easy to collect, right, David? How many are we talking about? Like 4, 5 documents?
Yeah, we need to send like 4, maximum 5 documents, depending on the documents that you need to attach, but it's really easy information to get for everyone.
Yes, let's see. Let's move to the next slide. Let's see if we can. Yes, here we go. So requested documents, you can read it there. So we have the bachelor degree or high school degree if you want to apply for, depending if you want to apply for a master program or a bachelor program. We need your high school certificate and transcript if you want to apply for a bachelor program, and we need your bachelor degree and official transcript if you want to apply for a master program. Then we need your the copy of your passport and the scholarship application form, which will be sent attached to the email from by your admission coordinator. That's it. It's very easy. It's very fast. It's not that complicated. Sometimes we have students that say, you know, Georgia, that's my experience. Of course, David, tell me if you face this this thing with your students as well. So most of my students are like, I don't have my transcript right now. How can I do? I cannot respect the deadline. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to apply on time. So we have the affidavit form, which is a file that the student can fill and sign, where the student declares that he or she will provide for the missing documents as soon as they get it. So it's fine, even if you don't have all the documents, but the first and the most important thing is to to be in contact with your admissions coordinator. Okay, perfect.
Of course.
All right.
Okay, this is the time to answer your questions. We are going to check your questions and try to answer the most questions we have in this time.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I can see that some question has arrived while we were presenting. So first of all, I wanted to thank Georgia and David for their time and for their presentations. And for all of you connected, please feel free to write all of your questions into the Q&A box, and we will be able to answer them all right now. So one of the first questions is, how early should I apply, and is there an interview to pass? So maybe if we can talk a little bit more about how competitive could be the application process, and yes, when you can actually advise people to put an application through.
Okay, well, as I said more than once, the very important thing is timing here, because we have 100 scholarships and we are talking about 32 countries. So 32 countries, I mean, in Latin America, we're talking about the Americas. It's a very big country, as everybody knows. I think timing is the core thing here. The sooner the better. So it means that the sooner you apply as a student, the better chances you have to get the scholarship.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes we talk with the students and in the same day they send the documents. So it's really important to send the documents as soon as possible.
Yes.
Perfect. And just to clarify, is there an interview to pass to be admitted?
In order, I mean, if there is no English certificate, yes. So yeah, it means that the student needs to provide for an English certificate as a requirement. If they do not have an English certificate, it's fine, because our institution provides for a free language assessment interview with the student just to test their English level.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So basically the interview is mainly to assess the English level. Perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
Another question is about if they need work experience to apply for the Master of Science.
No, maybe when you send the documents, you need to send maybe your CV in order to check that you have some experience. Maybe the most important information here is to know why you want to study this program. Okay, so maybe if you don't have any experience but you want to start your experience and grow your profile, you can do it. You just need to have the documents, and if you have the documents, you can apply.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, David. We also have Romelia who is asking, what if I have applied before and I got accepted but wasn't able to pay? Can I reapply? So basically, if someone put an application through, but for some reason, could be like payment, or could be maybe because of some other commitment, can they apply a second time?
David, do you want to answer or?
Yeah, in this case, yes. For example, if you send your documents and you don't pass the process, you are going to receive the call from your admission coordinator. He is going to give you the information if you pass the admission process or not. And if you don't pass the process, we are going to say why you don't pass the process, and maybe you can just try to fix this situation, or maybe work some I don't know, maybe work something in your profile, and maybe try to just to fix this situation, and you can reapply, of course.
But in this case, the student said, I got accepted, but I wasn't able to pay at that time. So in that case, you can contact back your admissions coordinator and ask to start and reopen your application, and you can start from the point you left it. So it is possible to try again. If you didn't finish your application process the last time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. They're also asking, do you think it's harder to study online, and do you provide some tutoring?
Well, absolutely, yes. So we actually are very proud of our tutoring, because we, as we said during the session, one of our strengths is actually to have a personal and professional tutor assigned to each student, which is going to be available at any time, 24/7. Of course, not during nighttime. But we tried to do our best to cover all the needs of our students with the tutoring.
Okay, this is great. So whoever just wrote, yes, there is some sort of tutoring. So if you're a bit worried about the online mode, feel free to reach out and they'll be able to give you all the information. We have Luisa who's asking, when the program starts? So she says, I'm finishing my bachelor degree in economics in November. Will I still be able to join this master program?
Okay, in this case, we have 3 intakes per year. We have intakes on January, on May, and the last one on September. In this case, with the scholarship, with the OAS scholarship, we are applying to start on May. The OAS is going to give you the results like in April. So the people who get like with the scholarship, they can just use and continue with all the admission process. But yes, I think it's just to you just need to send always the documents in order to check the information first before to any payment or everything.
Right. So it's not a secret that our university has a deal of partnership with the OAS for 5 years. So it means that we usually have 3 intake sessions during the year, but every session is a different application. So right now we are running for the May intake, and students interested can apply for the May intake 2021. And again, guys, the sooner you apply, the better are the chances to get the scholarship. So please contact your admission coordinator. I wanted to add something about, the semesters. Yes. Okay, that's it. We can go ahead, Federica.
Perfect. So we have another question. Orlando is asking us, how does the program takes? It's talking about master programs. Is there a course sequence to know which subject to take per semester? So basically he's asking how long does the master course last, and if the exam will actually be divided by semester.
Okay, I don't know if it's technically easy, but we can share the slide. Where can we share the slide where there is the table? Yeah, there is the table with all our programs. Thank you, Federica.
No problem.
There is programs. It's written programs.
So we go back.
Yes, here.
Yeah, perfect.
Here, just to answer the question of our student, you have 18 months for the master degrees, Master of Science programs, and 4 years for the Bachelor of Science programs. Plus, if you want to add the course that I was telling you before for the students that are going to apply for the IMBA, the duration is not going to be 18 months, but it's going to be 24 months. So instead of 1.5 years, it's going to be 2 years, 6 months more.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Another question. So we talked about these amazing scholarship that you are offering, but Fabricia is also asking if the scholarships is on merit or if you actually offer some other scholarships on merit.
For married people, you mean? Okay.
On merit, so maybe for some outstanding GPA or some sort of
merit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
So basically, he's asking if this is one of the criteria.
Okay, we asked in the documents for the transcripts, and also it's really important to know the information from the students in the CV that I mentioned before, maybe to write why you want to study this master or this bachelor, or maybe what you want to do with this degree when you finish. Of course, if you have really good score in your transcript, it's going to be maybe, I don't know, maybe the scholarship admission team is going to take maybe more your profile in mind, but maybe it's better if when you send your documents to explain all the situation, because we need to know why you need this scholarship, why are you looking for. So this is maybe the important thing to know in here.
Well, furthermore, I think it's very important if you have, for example, language skills or work experiences, as David was saying before, to the other question, on the other questions. If you have work experience, this is the case where it could have a very good impact on your application. So the more you show, the better it is.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. So please feel free to keep writing all of your questions, because slowly but surely we're going through all of them. One of the questions is actually asking in terms of like paying the application fee from abroad. So I guess they're probably asking if you do have some sort of office that helps in terms of guiding them for the financial part. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to pay the application fee, we have all of the tools that you need. We can send you links, and you can use credit and debit card. You can PayPal and all of different methods of payment. It doesn't matter where you are, because we have the tools that you need.
We also use Flywire as a platform of support, and I believe they are amazing, because they assist every payment we receive. They are ready to send the receipt and to assist the candidate who is making the payment. So it's very efficient.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and actually we have students paying and applying from Haiti and Colombia and a lot of countries from around the world.
All over the world.
Yes.
Okay, we have another question. They don't specify. Basically, they're asking, what if I currently not qualified for the program? Can I still put an application? I think maybe if someone doesn't have all the requirements as for the moment, can they still be put an application through maybe with some sort of like, let's say, option for the future? So can you be still, let's say, for example, at the moment you don't have your English test done, or you miss some document, can you still start to put an application through maybe kind of a conditional application? Can this happen? Okay.
Exactly, Federica, exactly. So the application can start in any moment. So again, the sooner the better. Even if you miss a document, especially if it is an educational document as a transcript or a certificate, including the language certificate, it's fine. You can just fill and sign the affidavit form where you declare that you will provide for the missing documents as soon as you get it. And of course, it has to be before the starting date of the program in order to complete your application and be on time. But again, if you don't start the application, you don't have any chance to get the scholarship. So again, everything goes there. We need to pass this information, which is really important for every candidate, to start the application right now.
Okay, so put the application through, and as David and Georgia said, you will be contacted anyway after this webinar from one of their program advisor. So it's probably better to put an application through, and then if there is any sort of issues on the way, they'd be able to help you to sort them out, so you do have a successful application. There is a question, I'm not sure if you have an answer right now, or maybe you can have a look. So they're asking if there is an equivalent in the degree in Colombia. So basically, if someone applies for a bachelor degree or actually complete a bachelor degree at MIU, is this bachelor degree valid only in the United States, or also will be valid back home? In this case, is Colombia.
No, actually, if you get the degree, you of course have the access, or you can use your degree in all the United States, but also you can use your degree between an accreditation process, and you can use it in LATAM, Colombia and in Ecuador, and a lot of countries from LATAM. You can use it. You just need to, of course, first have your degree, and then it's like an administrative process to do the accreditation.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Federica, this is last moment interruption. I'm sorry. There is a student that is asking, how can I apply right now? I would like to share with all our students in our live chat the link where they can forward their application and request of information, and they will be contacted very soon by their admission coordinator. Okay, I am sharing. Okay, yes. This is the link. You just need to fill the blanks and all the information requested, and you will submit your application. It's very easy. The questions are not very complicated, like your name, your surname, your program of interest, and that's it. It's done. The first step is done.
Yes.
Perfect. This is actually also answering another question that someone that calls Ale just put. So she said, or he said, this is great. I'm very excited. Can you tell me how to start my application? So Georgia just put the link in the chat. Perfect. So feel free to copy the link so you're ready to start your application. We also have another question. So Orlando is asking us if we can mention about the cost for the program, or maybe if we can direct him to the website where he can find this information, and also asking, how do I make payments? In this case, I am from Belize.
Okay.
About the payment, as we mentioned before, we have all the tools. So if you start your admission process, we are going to give you the payment information when you give us all the documents, and all, after finish or pass the admission process. And about the cost, maybe we can share the slide. We have all of the cost, and we can check the information.
Absolutely. I'm going to share the presentation. Just guide me where the slide would be.
It's going to be on the next slide of this one. Yeah, program economic overview. Yes.
Yes, there.
Okay. So in here, you should be able to see all of the estimated cost. If this information is particularly useful, you feel free to take a screenshot maybe of this slide so you can save it.
Yes, I would like to underline one thing, because sometimes students are scared about the payment of the tuition fees. So basically, I would like to tell everybody that we offer the opportunity to pay by installments. Usually we do monthly installments, so the student will have to pay just a small amount each month, and it's not going to be heavy, you know, on the students. So just take into account that if you get the scholarship of 60%, you will be required to pay only for the 40% remaining part of the tuition fee, and that 40% is going to be divided in monthly installments, depending on if you are doing a bachelor program. In that case, it's going to be 12 installments for 4 years. Or if you apply for a master program, you will have 18 monthly installments in order to finish paying at the end of the 18th month.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this.
And also, it's important to know that in this payment program, the student don't need to pay any interest. So it's really better to use any bank or something like that, because you can just use our payment, pay while you are studying, and when you finish, it's done.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you,
we have another question in the chat. So they're asking if you have any sort of payment facilities. So we talked about these installments, and they're actually asking a detail. So if you are charging interest rates.
Yeah, as David already said that.
Perfect. And another question is, Esther is thanking us for the link that we sent for the application. And how long does it take to know if I have been admitted and awarded with a scholarship? So long is the process from when I put the application to when I know the results?
It depends on the student, first of all. I mean, if let's imagine that you, Federica, you start your application right now and you submit all the documents within tomorrow. Okay, then it's going to be, let's say, 24 hours, more or less, to receive the answer of your eligibility for the scholarship. Once you receive that answer, you need to pay, and that's up to you, of course, you need to pay for the application fee. And then you need to wait together with all the other applicants after the 2nd of April 2021, when the OAS is going to release the results. And we will find out all together if you get the scholarship or not. So it depends on the student, and it depends on OAS, of course. But the first, I mean, the timing is mostly about the students, because in 24 hours, you will know if you're eligible or not.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's great. So another question they're asking us, we already mentioned that you offer some sort of tutoring, which is great. They're also asking if you have some sort of career service. So let's say an office that can help our students towards the graduation to find a job or some sort of internship.
Yes, actually, we have our campus director, which is Sara Fortezza, and student director as well. She is the one dealing with our let's say post-graduation. So even the students' experiences that we shared before are coming from students that right now are placed and have the job that they wanted to do, and they received assistance from our university, and of course got the results they wanted to. So of course there is this kind of service, career service.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have, okay, so Giovanni is asking, can I convalidate my title once I finish in my country. So I think David already said something earlier about Colombia. I'm not sure if you can maybe reinforce this, if the title will be also valid anywhere else.
Yes, as I mentioned before, because we are an official university, you can do a convalidation process. When you finish and you obtain your degree, you just need to do an accreditation in your country, and that's all. You can use your degree. And also, if you in your projects is to go to United States and maybe start your process there, you can do it.
So this is actually a plus. So basically, you can either decide to move and find a job in the United States, or let's say you're in your country, you can convalidate, which is actually great. We had a question is about if the programs that MIU is offering are only online, or if there is the opportunity to study in a campus.
Okay, so as I was telling before during the presentation, yes, we do have on-campus programs, but the OAS is valid only for the online programs, online study format. But we do, as an institution, we offer on-campus programs for all of our programs, bachelor's and master's. It is possible to apply, and the method is the same. The process is the same. So you need to fill in the application form and you will be contacted, and we will provide you with all the information on how to apply for the on-campus program. Again, the 60% scholarship program offered by OAS in partnership with the Marconi International University is only for online study format and the English version of our online programs, because we remind you that we offer programs as well in Spanish.
Yes, and also maybe it's important to know, if you want to apply for on-campus methodology, it's mandatory to apply for a visa, so for a student visa. So in this case, that's why maybe the OAS scholarship just apply for online methodology and in English.
Yes, of course, the process is going to be much longer, like 3-4 months more or less.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this clarification. We have Florestine, who had to leave the meeting, but she actually mentioned I will work on my application shortly, which is actually great.
Good. That's what we want to hear from our students.
Yes.
That's great. So we're coming towards the end of our conversation, and I'd like to thank David and Georgia for their time and all of you for being connected. Actually, before leaving, I wanted to say, a lot has been said about this amazing opportunity and about the MIU. I wanted to ask if you have a final piece of advice that you feel like sharing with our students tonight, something that extra that maybe hasn't been said so far.
Now maybe that as Georgia mentioned before, everything and always all process has some steps, as our process has some steps, but as admission coordinators, we are in here to help all the students. So please don't be afraid to send the documents. Maybe the worst thing that can happen is to say, okay, you can apply, just apply again. But the good scenario maybe is to get the scholarship and maybe to get more opportunities in United States or even in your own country. So feel free to send the documents, to ask for any question, to send your contact details, your friends' contact details. So everyone is welcome in here.
Yes. Well, following David's wave, most of the time you think whenever there is anything that you need to award, you're like, no, I cannot, I don't get it. I will not receive the scholarship. I will not succeed. And as David was saying, it's really easy to apply. And the worst case scenario is that you don't get the scholarship and maybe next time you will try again. But the best scenario is that you get the 60% scholarship, which is actually a very good amount of scholarship, and
Of course.
especially in this historical moment. So guys, do not lose time and apply.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, David, for all of you that have been connected tonight. I also wanted to remind that we will be sending you an email with some extra information, a link to put your application through. So in case you didn't have the chance to take the link from the chat, we will be sending it to you. And also we will be sharing some details so you can contact straight away the team. You can contact George and David, and then you can start putting your application through. So thank you so much. Thanks for your time. And I really hope that all of you connecting get to talk to David and Georgia, and they can help you starting your journey and realizing your dream. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.